And we are live. Good evening, everyone. It is Friday, May 13th, 2022, making it Friday the 13th. If you're the superstitious type, I guess you need to be looking over your shoulder all day. Good thing for me, I'm not. Don't really believe in that stuff, but it's kind of fun. So we are celebrating a Friday the 13th, and I see a lot of people in the chat. Let me just make sure my mic is turned on. I've started too many streams where I start talking and then I watch and it's just my lips moving and there's no sound coming. Hello, Susan, Ali B, BHG, PGH is here, COVID Hippo, Jeanette Morales, Sean, Hunter Stewart, Novell Cost, Clayton Crawford, Alex, Comment Lord, Whoosja, Alejandra, Marg H, Whitby Dude, Susan, Cody Shaw, Herman Huang, Adam C, Michael Nguyen. I think I saw Brad Marie Palmer in here, Claire Alexander, Maria. I'll read one more. There's Marie Palmer. Okay, one more after her. Prasun and Saul. Okay, we're done. And hello to everyone else joining. And I hope you've all had a good Friday. It has been very, very hot the last few days. And in honor of being hot, I started drinking about an hour and a half ago. And we're going to continue. I actually posted a picture. I went for dinner at the Fox and Firkin on Eglinton. Basically, I was looking for a patio. All the patios were packed, but I remembered that place had a pretty big backdoor patio and it was just walk in and get a table. So if you're in a pinch looking for a patio, I highly recommend it. Great service, pretty good food. And we're going to keep drinking. And I have another one of these pompous ass English ales, 4.2%. So I think I had one of these on the last time. Susan says, Johnny, title typo, channel G, can you see it? Thank you, Susan. I kind of put that title in from my phone. I was in a bit of a rush because I decided rather than stay home, I was going to go out for dinner. So I set this thing up and went running out the door. Ali BHG says, outdoor dining is back. It is back. So I have fixed the typo. Thank you, Susan. Jonathan says, my hair is immaculate. I don't know about that. But anyways, let's get this drink going. There's a Firkin and Flyer at BWI, says Herman. And just before we get going, I just want to give a huge shout out to our channel members and Patreon supporters. These are the God tier members. So we have 136 members in total, but these individuals have the highest level of membership, and I did say that I've only shouted them out a few times over the past several months, and I feel bad for that because that is one of the member perks. So thank you very much, Elizabeth Patton, Epic Nation HD, Where's Perry, Andrew Nielsen, Shepherd87, Chuck Diamond, Vivian Johnson, Deborah Ball, Ron V, and Yogi. Yogi is also a moderator. And if I go, I'm just taking a look at my YouTube right now. Chuck Diamond has been a member for 18 months. James Austin, 17 months. Green City NYC, 17 months. Jelly Bean Mama, 16 months. John, 16 months. Salome Perry, 16 months. Like, there's been a lot of... SR Gotts, 15 months. So thank you, everyone, for your amazing support. Novell Cost says the God tier people are supreme beings. I'm only one of the angels. I hope that name doesn't offend anyone. I just thought... what's like the highest status of livelihood you could achieve? And I think the word God seemed like a reasonable word to call it. We have silver tier and gold tier. One of the things that's coming soon to YouTube, this is something that Twitch has, is the ability to gift memberships. In the Twitch world, Twitch is kind of a dying streaming platform. You can gift a subscription, which is the same thing as a membership, to other people. YouTube is testing that now. It's in beta form. A few channels have access to it. I am, being a very small fish in a very big pond, not eligible for that beta test yet. But that is kind of cool. So I think, that'll give people another way to say thank you and benefit other people as well. Elizabeth is here. She says, watched for a year and then finally pulled the trigger. Well, thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you to everyone else. But not just thank you to the members, but just everyone who watches and all the subscribers and people who participate in the chat. We have a pretty awesome community here, and I always look forward to the premieres and just kind of hanging out and chatting with everyone. Instead of being behind the mic or in front of the camera during the premieres, it gives me a chance to kind of just join in with everyone else. So I kind of enjoy that, and I tend to do those about 5 or 6 times a week at 9 a.m. Alex says I would go to the Firkin location. Young and Egg ain't too far from here. Ali BHG says Twitch is mainly for gamers. Yeah, but it's also Amazon's not really making any money on it. They're kind of trying to squeeze blood from a rock with Twitch. So I think YouTube is definitely on the way up. Who's Josh says I'm still dying. There's a comment worth highlighting. Oh, it's not letting me highlight it. Instead, we'll just highlight Marie Palmer's. It says, I'm still dying of laughter from this morning's video when you mistakenly said March for May. I was like, damn, he forgot to upload a video in March. You want to know something about that video this morning? It took me about 10 or 11 takes just to get started on this morning's video. And then after that, I recorded another video, and that one took me even more takes. Normally, I get it on the first try. I almost never have to go back and do a second take, but maybe it's just the heat. It took me over 10 times. I deleted the footage, so no, there won't be a Stumbles highlight on that. But I was just fumbling all over. I just couldn't get anything out. And then I went home and I watched it, and I said March instead of May, and I didn't even catch that on the spot. So good job, dummy. Although usually once I'm past a minute, when I do my intro and I start recording, once I'm over a minute or two, if I slip up, if I say something wrong, I'll just kind of laugh it off and make fun of myself and keep moving. No need to go back and hit record again. But if you do it right away, you're so close to where you started. It's like, I'm just going to start this over again. Lisa finally sold her Sony today, which felt good. Congrats. And speaking of feeling good, check that out. It is 20 degrees right now. It was 23, 24 earlier today. So we had like, what, our 4th or 5th amazing day in a row. I went out. I kind of have a bit of a callus on my toe. So I just went out and did an e-scooter video. And I was thinking of doing a live stream tonight, but I decided not to do that as well. Hopefully tomorrow I can be in full walking mode and get out and make some videos. And I'm thinking after the Leafs game, we might do a live stream. I'm thinking about it. Hopefully my foot is good to go. If not, I can always hop on the scooter or something. But I recorded kind of a video, I forget, maybe a week and a half ago. And we're going to watch it together. And I'm going to do something different. I'm going to put my headphones on so I can hear it. This is not really a narrated video. Ooh, headphone Johnny. But this first video I'm going to play tonight, we might do a few different things later on in the stream, by the way. This first video, I started recording it, and then when I got on the streetcar, I realized there was too many people around me, so it was going to be super awkward if I kept narrating. So I just did it silently, and I was like, okay, maybe this will just be a backup video. In case I don't have anything to go, I'll play it. Or maybe I'll upload it to the Stumbles channel, which I might do eventually anyways, but let's just watch it right now. So this was, I did a video on my way to the Shangri-La not too long ago, and this is my video of that journey. So let me see if I can find it here. I just realized I can't hear it anyways, so I'm gonna have to be quiet for the intro. Hey everyone, it is Friday, May 6th. The time right now is 4:18 p.m. and I'm here at the intersection of King Street East and Sherburne Street. And in less than 2 minutes or so, a 504 King streetcar will be rolling in. And I'll be hopping on that and taking it west over. Mark H. Charlie is out on the balcony, actually. to the intersection of King and University. There's the streetcar. I'll need to throw my mask on, as they're still required on transit in the city. And this won't be a very long ride. I'm heading over to a hotel at King and University, or one that's just north of there. And I thought, let's record the streetcar ride. Get my transit pass ready here. It's a 504B, so that'll be running over to the Dufferin Gate. That's me, Kartik. That's me. That's exactly me. Okay, I think I don't talk anymore from here on. But I put a mountain of sugar in my morning Keurig. Speaking of which, I cleaned out my Keurig today, so it is all clean and descaled. Kind of an annoying process, but something we have to do. All right, we seem to be on the level right now. LEBHG says ASMR. Yeah, this was I was gonna narrate the ride, and then it's just super, super awkward on, doing this sitting around other people. So I decided just to talk. So we are going west on King Street East. I'm going to have to say, I think King Street East is my favorite street in downtown. If you were to divide everything east-west, so College, Carlton, Queen West, Queen East, I don't think anything it captures that like gritty vibe of the east side, but it also captures the history, and it's also like around Church and King, like the St. Lawrence area is just stunning. I'm gonna go ahead and crown this my favorite street in downtown Toronto, as I am not panning up here because I'm probably just pointing the camera at the side of the streetcar and playing on my phone or something right now. Eugenate says, so scared for the Leafs. Yeah, they blew it last night, didn't they? They came back. They're up 3-2. I don't want to compete with the Leafs tomorrow night, but I think maybe after the stream, I'm going to head out or after the game, I'm going to head out and do a live stream. Hopefully, yes, I'm bandwagoning it right now, but hopefully they pull it out. The Jays are on a bit of a dip. The Raptors are waiting. Who even knows or cares what the Argos are up to, or the FC? So we are waiting for the Leafs, as Lisa would say, to blow it in the third or collapse tomorrow. Hopefully not. I think they're in Toronto, actually.
Pretty good.
So if they win, those are going to be some electric streets tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What's your YouTube channel?
It's called Johnny Strides.
Okay.
Alex says, was thinking of going to Corktown and West Don Lands tomorrow. I was thinking of doing St. Lawrence.
Don't film people on transit, though.
I just think it'll be kind of busy on Saturday afternoon. Hopefully,
awkward
Fountain at Berksey Park will be going. And I could go into the St. Lawrence Market and walk around there. I think that's my tentative tomorrow afternoon video plan that I just made up right now. Well, I have it on my board. And the video tomorrow, I can take off my board. So I've got, and I did that today. I did the scoot because of the stupid callus on my toe. I was not planning on doing a scoot. Jeanette says, yes, the St. Lawrence Market. That is the plan for tomorrow. Kartik's asking, did anyone else watch that serial killer series on Netflix? I watched the episode on Toronto, actually. I did watch that, but what I watched last night was the return of a Canadian institution. Amazon released the new Kids in the Hall, and somehow they managed to capture the essence of the original show 30 years later. I think if you were a fan of Kids in the Hall, I think you're going to like it. It was pretty awesome. Brandon N, hope you're enjoying the nice warm weather. Thank you, Brandon N, for the 279. That is very much appreciated. And yes, I am. I got out on the scooter today, shorts and a t-shirt for the second straight day in a row. Lisa says Dave Foley. You're going to see full frontal nudity, Dave Foley. And,
hope you're enjoying the nice warm weather.
I think it was Dave Foley and Kevin McDonald were full frontal. Pretty alarming but hilarious scene, actually. Alb says slick new haircut, very sharp. Thank you. I'll take it. I just highlighted the wrong one. Lisa says full, like full. Not just full, but like jumping up and down full. Like they were trying to prove that they weren't wearing any clothes full. Like, yeah, it was pretty hilarious scene, actually. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I only watched the first episode, but I think I know what I'm going to do after the stream. COVID Hippo dislikes Joe Rogan. Don't like him a bit. Lisa says, like, Jackass full. Just watch the show. I know you have Prime, Lisa. Just watch it. And now we're in the financial district, looking south. Charlie, what are you doing? Looking south at the TD Center. Charlie has wandered in from the balcony. There's an interesting doc on Amazon. All right, so I put up a poll. Should I stream tomorrow? 81% said yes, 9% said no, 10% said Sunday is the first day of the week. Okay, I'm going to put up another poll here. Todd says Jays are in a dip, as is crypto, but all's well if kids in the hall are back. Oh man, is crypto ever in a dip? Not just crypto. I looked at my Wealth Simple. My TFSA is shockingly low compared to what it was. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I don't think it's healthy unless like you're in that world and you know what you're doing. But man, crypto is rocked. Everything is just taking a bath right now. Even Elon Musk is apparently backing out of his Twitter purchase because the value of Tesla went down so much. SR Gott says, yeah, sorry about your Jays. Not really. It's still early. They'll turn things around. Well, I hope when you're in town, you go cheer them on in person. And now we look at a barrier. So 74% say yes, 11% said no, and 15% of you voted for the correct answer. Toilet paper goes under. And yes, that is really how the toilet paper was at One King West. I did not go in there before I filmed that video to sort of scout the property and know what I was looking at. I totally didn't do that. I totally didn't plant a drink in the fridge to be there for me later. Like, I just went in there the first time, and that toilet paper was oriented the right way. So, needless to say, they got a five-star review on TripAdvisor from me. Vivian Johnson says, I thought Saturday... What was your day? You know, with the weather nice, I'm just feeling like I'm going to be getting out and streaming more often. It's a lot easier to get out and make content when it's not freezing cold all the time. So 72% said yes, 17% said no, and 12% said
there we go.
Toilet paper goes under.
University Avenue. And where I'm heading is just north of here.
Brandon N. There's a poll question.
And that would be the Shangri-La Hotel. There's an entrance to St. Andrew subway station. So I'm gonna have to stop recording when I get to the hotel just to meet my friend if all goes
All right,
well,
Brandon,
I should have
I've
a
put the
video
poll
through
up.
there to put up
Lavelle
on
says,
the
wait,
main
I thought you
channel.
were one of those over...
Or my second channel.
No.
This is Pearl Street.
So your options are no, they'll somehow win, and it's what they were all born to do. Alejandro says, under is totally wrong. Toilet paper goes over. You are the weakest link. Dismissed.
And it should be
Whippy
just
Dude
up
says the
here on the
$800
left.
hotel should know. They did. The Shangri-La did. It was One King West that had it the correct way. Whose
There
job
it
puts
is.
toilet paper on the side? There's no wrong way. There's no
All right,
wrong
so I
way.
hope you enjoyed this.
And there is the Shangri-La. So
Short
that
streetcar
was
ride
the
from
hotel I
King
was
and
heading
Sherbourne,
into.
Heading west into the financial district.
So
then
this was
up
my
to
journey to there. I think I
University in
ended the video
Adelaide.
in a second right when I crossed the street. All right, Kohana, have a good night. Lisa Palmer says,
You know,
this
your
is from
thoughts
the
and
Doctor
comments
Who
down below.
episode, You Are the Weakest Link. Well, it was from the TV show, You Are the Weakest Link. Don't even watch Doctor Who. Susan Hope. No, I didn't. I was out.
All right.
Griffin, thank you
watching,
for
and
subscribing.
will
No, I was
catch
out
you
in
on
the
next
heat,
one.
and I did not put any SPF on. And we're up to 170 viewers. Thank you, everyone. 164 viewers? Man, this thing fluctuates, but just 72 likes. Hallie BHG, love the weakest link. You know what is pretty good? There's a show hosted by Hallie Mandel, an incredibly youthful Hallie Mandel, called Bullshit on Netflix that is actually pretty good. Lisa says, don't be a dummy, wear sunscreen. What I need to do is buy some moisturizer that has sunscreen built into it. Okay, let's watch one more video, and then maybe we'll try doing something new. So what do I have here? I have another Streetcar Ride.
1080p syncing. 1, 2.
Hyde Park. There I am syncing the audio. I go 1, 2, 3. That way, if the audio doesn't match, I can always match it with my fingers, and I know it'll work. Enrique says, I am new in Toronto. Should I buy an air conditioner or no? That's a very, very tough question. So where you live doesn't have an air conditioner? It would have everything to do with where you lived, I would think. If you were really high up in like a high rise and for some reason you didn't have an air conditioner, but you had a screen door, I think like just a decent fan will do you the trick. If you're in like a basement apartment, it might be naturally kind of cool. So again, a fan might be good. But if you're on just like a first or second floor, if you're just renting a room in a house and you don't have AC, maybe you want a portable stand-up one. Too many variables at play, but I appreciate the question. As we look out at Grenadier Pond over... this is only going to take a few minutes, by the way. This is Grenadier Pond at Hyde Park. And I started the stream, actually, right on that other side. 48% say the Leafs will win. 52% say choke. So we're about 50-50 tomorrow. Lisa says Central Air is the best ever. I don't like Central Air if you cannot control it. I'd rather have controllable air than... Because I know some people who live in condos and or even apartments, and they just have no say in the air. And I think that would drive me crazy to no end. Clayton Crawford says, yes, I have a basement apartment, and it's always cool in the summer. Clayton, I lived in a basement once as well, and that's why I said that, because it was always pretty cool. Even on the hottest days, I would go down there, and there was just like a coolness to it, I think. Just for the fact that you're in the subterranean somewhere. Enrique's thinking a portable. Yeah, like it's probably a good buy. Cedric says, are the people in Toronto sociable? That's a good question, because we'll come back to that in a second, Cedric. Everett C, enjoying the show. Thank you very much, Everett C, for your support and your $20. That is amazing. Thank you so much, Everett C. It is not in my other app here that has not yet showed up to highlight it.
Enjoying the show.
Thank you very much, Everett. Where was that question? Thank you again, Everett. So back to Cedric's question. Are the people in Toronto sociable? There's often posts on Reddit of people saying, like, where do I meet people? How do I meet people? People in Toronto are stuck up. People in Toronto are snobs. And honestly, I don't know. Everyone I've met through school or I met through work. I'm not, or I've met through like softball, like everything. So yeah, I just haven't met that many people out of the blue. But when I think about it, my whole life, that's kind of how I've met people. When I lived in Korea, it sort of
Johnny,
started
thanks for
as like my
subscribing to my
coworkers.
channel.
Emo's Music Channel. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thank you, Emo's Music Channel. Why did yours show up, but Everett's didn't? I'm very sorry about that, Everett. But it didn't. I use a third-party app that lets me highlight these comments. And, well, my other notification still worked. But thank you again, Emo's Music Channel. And yes, I subscribed. So to answer the question, are people in Toronto sociable? I don't know. I would assume they're the same. In a work environment or in a group environment, yes, people are always wanting to go out, especially on a day like this, the first glorious Friday. I think there's a lot of, all the patios in Midtown were packed, except for this one patio that I went to. So I think there's a lot of like, hey, let's go out after work going on and that sort of thing. But in terms of just like meeting random people, I have no idea. I legitimately have no idea. And now we're walking along Grandier Pond. Someone said, but I have roots though. Yeah, that definitely affects things, right? Like I already worked here and sort of had a base here. Henrique Tavares arrived in Toronto September 2021. Your videos helped a lot. Thanks. Thank you, Henrique. Sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly, but thank you very much for your support, and I'm glad you found some use
Arrived in
the
Toronto
channel.
September 2021. Your videos helped a lot. Thanks.
I'll let my robotic assistant read that. I streamed in the other direction the other day doing this. And the quality on that, I had such a terrible connection down here that this just looks so much better than what it did on my stream. But this video is almost done. We're almost at the end. Clayton Crawford says, hey, challenge, we're at 91 likes, so smash that like button to get it over 105. Yes, it must be over 105. I have no idea why, but it must. Alex says his window faces east, yet you're missing a sunset, but you can see pink sky out east. You know what? I have my blackout blinds closed right now, Alex, so I can't see anything right now, but I get the worst of everything. I get the fierce, intense sunrises, and then I miss the beautiful sunsets. So definitely get a western-facing unit if you're in a high-rise and you have the choice. Eastern-facing, not so good if you're not really a morning person. Given Name says, thank you for the great videos and hanging out. Thank you for joining in, Given Name. Last week was my first week, and I think 3 or 4 weeks where I actually had a video every day because I had been taking Thursday, and I think 1 week I took Wednesday mornings off and doing a live stream instead. I was able to get a full 7 out of 7, or at least this week so far, and tomorrow will be 7, so we're good. Lisa Palmer loves crows. Those winged birds are nasty and protective during nesting. Thank you, Roberto. I enjoyed being in your country not too long ago. Griffin asks, by the way, I'll try to highlight the questions. Griffin asks, Mr. Strides, my parents love your show. Sweet. I have a show. And they wanted to know if Ken Continuum will be joining you on the show. On this show, I don't know. This is kind of a one-man show. Action Kid is doing some home stream, so I'm going to see if I can invite him on the show. I have no idea technically how to do that, how to make him like show up next to me, but I know he can do it. He's got a green screen and a pretty good webcam and all that stuff, so I'm going to try to make that happen. Maybe we can watch some videos together and react to them. I don't know. But thank you. As for Ken, yeah, I'm sure in like a month or two we'll get together and do another collab. We seem to do one every few months. It's a lot of fun. He's a great guy, and he probably knows more about Toronto than I do. Certainly more about skyscrapers. So yeah, we'll make that happen. SR Gott says if you get to 105, the Leafs will win. Right now, the poll is at 49%. No, they'll somehow win. 51%. It's what they were all born to do. If it gets to 50-50, I'll try to end the poll. Eduardo, when was this filmed? This was filmed... when did I do this live stream? Wednesday? I want to say Wednesday. And I set the camera down, and now it's just kind of... In my defense, the camera was like on the ground, and I can't really see the viewfinder. So, ideally, the horizon would be like at least a third up the screen, not near the very bottom, so that's why this looks kind of like crap. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and end this horrible video because, hey, what time is it? So we're running through these a little quicker than I thought. So I was thinking we'd do something fun, but let's get one more video out of the way with first, and then we'll do that if you're still around. This one is... This was the end of that same live stream. I went to the 509 Streetcar, so that's what this is. So this is going to be a quick jaunt down the 509, and then we'll look at doing something a bit different. Ali BHG says another pretty photo dump. Not sure what we're talking about. Griffin says his parents wanted to know if I could crash the bus again. I'll play some bus driving and truck driving on the Stumbles channel. Sorry guys, I didn't get to doing any extra streams or content this week on the Stumbles channel, but I'll get around to doing that next week probably. We'll do some more fun like that. Whitby Dude remembers my first collab with Ken when he had a buzz cut. Yeah. The many looks of Ken. Do we just sit here looking out the window for a while? Come on, Streetcar. Go. Can I speed this up? Okay, we're moving.
Next stop, Strawn Avenue.
Oh, I get it. Ali, sorry about that. Velkos says, I didn't know he ever had short hair. Yes, just Google my name and Ken's name, and it'll show up in YouTube, and you can see I put Ken on the thumbnail. Susan asking the real questions. Will Johnny grab us some Tiny Toms when the X opens? That stuff, I don't know if they dip their donuts in actual crack, but they might as well, because that is some delicious stuff. And I've been eating that ever since I was a kid. And occasionally a Tiny Tom's truck, like a food truck, appears around Toronto. And you'll see one in Nathan Phillips Square from time to time when you see a lot of food trucks there, at least prior to the pandemic. So you better believe I get some Tiny Toms. When I used to work in First Canadian Place, last time I saw that truck, I bought like a big bag and just put it in like the break room. And within 5 minutes, they're all gone. Like, people just scarf them up. So that was pretty cool. Ken needs Megan to massage his scalp for faster hair growth. I don't know. Is there a doctor in the house? Where's Sanjay? Does that actually work? Vivian Johnson says, I think you and Ken and maybe some other YouTubers should get on that bus Ken got an earful from the driver. Oh, we should all record. Maybe we should awkwardly record the driver. But yeah, Ken got on the 29 Dufferin bus and was told not to record. And I actually sent Ken a screenshot of the TTC guidelines, and Ken ended up using that in his video just to be like, pretty sure you can record on TTC property, Ken. Sure enough, right on their website it said it can, or it said we can. Melting tomato, 100% agree with that. Nothing says food building, like the smell of time. Oh man, the food building. That is a gluttonous, horrible for your health, but amazing thing that needs to come back into our lives.
Next stop, Bastion
Mark
Street.
Rand says, how are you doing, Johnny? I'm doing well. Charlie is making some noise somewhere. He still hasn't eaten his kibble yet. He hasn't had any food yet today. So this is looking south out the 509 Harbourfront Streetcar. We're heading towards Union Station. Clayton Crawford just shaves his head. Keep it simple. Mark says salt, fish and chips. Oh, those were the days. Lately, a big thing at the X has been those giant turkey legs people buy and walk around. I don't remember that being a thing when I was there growing up, but it seems to be a thing these days. Allie BHG says, how long are you babysitting? I think I got this woof woof for another week. Charlie! I don't actually have anything on me. Griffin says, who has better donuts? Coffee Time or Tiny Tom's? You know, I'm a fan of... No, it was Country Style who blew me away with their donuts. So I'm going to go Tiny Tom's. Did you ever make a video of the Toronto Zoo area? Not yet. But there is a member's request to get up there in that area and do a bike ride. So I'm going to try to work on that and get that done this month.
Johnny, I had a bug dog at the
CNE. I don't know what a bug dog is, Emo. Let me... I just googled bug dogs. And it is showing me dogs with those big collars around their neck. Don't know what you're talking about, but thank you very much for the $2 Emo's music channel. Melting Tomato says cronuts, blooming onions. I always get the blooming onions on the Midway for some reason. I know you can get them in the food building. That's more of a Midway kind of food. Sargotts is going to be there while the X is happening. Yeah, it's kind of one of those like unique to Toronto events that you really kind of gotta go and see. I know some people, it's like I went once, I'm never gonna go again, but it's really fun. Kind of a ripoff if you start doing stuff. Just be careful. I would imagine it would be a nightmare if you went to the X and you had a bunch of kids with you. You would definitely want to get them the passes to avoid pain for each ride. Emo's music channel says hot dog is it's a hot dog with bugs is a bug dog with bugs. That sounds disgusting. But thank you for the $2
Hot dog with bugs is a
and
bug
the
dog.
clarification. Emo's music channel. Thank you again. Duncan. Oops, I highlighted the wrong message. It's not letting me highlight your message, Duncan. Oh, there we go. If true, sorry, this thing can't, your message is breaking my machine here. But if true, congratulations. Huge news for you. Devin says no sidewalk clicking option in the poll. Oh, I missed it. I was going to end the poll when it was 50-50, but we have concluded the poll. 54% of you think the Maple Leafs are going to beat the Lightning and move on to round 2. And 45% are convinced that they're going to choke. Clayton sent me a picture of him and his doggos, and it was cute. You know what, Clayton? I don't know if that's something I could use in a thumbnail, but if you don't mind, I could show that on the Sunday night Stumble stream if you want to see that shared. And is a Medic's Mind here? A Medic's Mind. He has a new YouTube channel, by the way. I think I'll feature that in the Sunday night Stumble stream again, or as well. I'm reading 2 different chats here. It's kind of crazy, and I'm a little bit tipsy. We are well into multiple drinks on the night. But Lisa Gibson loved the ice cream waffles at the CNE. Oh, absolutely gluttonous. Duncan Robertson says he stayed at the Chelsea Hotel. That's such a centrally located hotel, and I've known so many people who have stayed there. I've never stayed there myself, but I'm going to see if I can get in and do a video on that. I've had some people asking me for it, too. I think every video I've done of a hotel, there's been people saying, hey, can you do the Chelsea? I think It's not a luxury hotel, so it's not a mega ripoff. It's pretty reasonably priced, so I think a lot of people stay there. And I've never heard anyone say anything bad about it, so it's got to be pretty good. So we'll see. It's also possibly endangered. I've heard there's developers that are trying to get their hands on that land. A fun fact about the Chelsea Hotel: when they built Aura, which is the shops at Aura, a failed, disastrous underground mall. It's also the tallest residential condominium in the city, and it's the future home of the urban IKEA. They built that on the promise that it would be connected to the path. In order to connect to the path, they have to have an underground connection to the atrium on Bay. In order to build that, it needs to go through the Chelsea property. So the Chelsea property, or the Chelsea Hotel property, is the big barrier towards getting College Park connected to the path. And as long as the Chelsea Hotel stands, that's never going to happen. So a lot of people who bought into the shops at Aura and that whole development are kind of screwed on that promise of the future path connection that was never going to happen. And there's no promise that any future developer is going to want to spend the money to do that path link up as well to the atrium and College Park. Harjot says, Johnny, one time I watched Netflix with my family. It's always fun. You can do watch parties, right? I think Amazon Prime at least has watch parties. I think you can do that on Alexa as well. Lisa, so damn excited over that stupid IKEA. Yes, no more slogging it all the way up to North York or all the way to Etobicoke. But I don't think you're going to get that instant gratification of getting to, like, just take home with you whatever you want if it's a bigger item. I don't think they're going to have that warehouse ability, but it'll still be pretty neat. Madonna used to be partners in Aura. It was called Hard Candy, but quickly closed. Was that in the shops at Aura? Anonymous dude was hoping I was drinking some A&W root beer. Alex is really looking forward to the IKEA. There is a parade of horns going on outside. What's that all about? You would never buy big ticket items there. Anyways, hey, my bed is an IKEA mall. My love seat is an IKEA something or other. So those are sort of big ticket items. Novell costs make a silly comment. You risk having it shown on screen. And there's a look at the lake. Notice all these people are still wearing jackets. I think people were confused. Like, is it really hot now after that stupidly long, cold winter? Total lack of spring. Is it really hot? I think people were in kind of disbelief.
Please look right for traffic when exiting.
Today was definitely like a 90% of the people were in short sleeves. Not looking crazy out there. But I did see some like pretty serious winter jackets. You're like, okay, who am I to judge? But you gotta be sweating. And there's a tall ship off in I think there's gonna be the Tall Ship Festival actually coming up. I think that's gonna be next month downtown. And we're about to go by the part of the waterfront trail that is closed. I've been meaning to do a waterfront trail video, but I think it's going to be walking just because the multi-use trail is all dug up. Like, good timing on that. I'm also thinking maybe Sunday I'll go to the beaches if it's a really nice day and the beaches are actually packed. Might be kind of cool to go along the boardwalk there. Lisa says waterfront at sunrise. Do you get a good sunrise view? I guess you wouldn't want to walk west, right? Because the sunrise is in the east, so you'd want to walk east, but isn't that view kind of blocked? I guess it depends on where you are in the waterfront. I think the beaches might be the best place to do that, if I'm not mistaken. Can I explain? Says morning, buddy. Must be morning where you are. Lisa asks if I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't wake up that early. But I think if you're walking east, maybe the financial district is kind of blocking where the sun comes up. Susan says if Johnny Strides ever makes it at sunrise, you'll DM her. R.C. Harris feels like the edge of the world at dawn. All right, I think R.C. Harris and the beaches might be the spot for a sunrise stream. Or a sunrise video. Maybe a stream. That'd be interesting. Ooh, we are looking south at the lake. Did you read the article about the most mispronounced Toronto signs? Eugenate, that was like a very lazy hack of an article that was just regurgitating a few existing articles that were already online. And they got Grosvenor wrong in the article. So I read it, but was I impressed? No. So, but other than that, yeah, it's a neat thing. And I think it'd be a neat topic for a video for me to do. But if you read the other articles, like, you can tell that that was an article that someone did absolutely no research or homework about and literally just copied what was done and almost pasted it exactly. So kind of lazy. Eugenate says, I finally found out how to pronounce Roncesvalles, at least. Nobody knows how to pronounce Roncy. A lot of people just say Roncy because I think half the people there put the S on the end and the other half are silent on the S. But unlike the beaches beach, I don't think there's any debate. I think people just acknowledge, like, no one knows how to say this damn word, so they say it however they want. Whereas beach and beaches, they kind of bring out their pitchforks and want to kill one another when people don't say it the way people like. It is the beaches, by the way. There's no such neighborhood as the beach. SR Gots, when you go there, remember, you're in the beaches, not the beach. You also saw sunsets from the other side of the lake in New York when you're in college. It'll be cool to see the opposite. We're in New York. My brother went to Canisius College in Buffalo. Lisa says Spadina or Spadina. Aha, Lisa, good point. I think Spadina Avenue and Spadina Road is actually correct. North of Bloor, it's Spadina Road. South of Bloor, it's Spadina. That's if Wikipedia has taught me correctly. Nobody calls it Spadina north of Bloor. I think everyone calls it Spadina. But I think it's actually Spadina. Speaking of which, Reese on RM Transit recently did a pretty cool video about Spadina Station that came out yesterday, actually. I don't know what that is. Oswego. I'm guessing that's a school. I don't know what that is. Yeah, he says he was near Midtown today. Near Midtown. How near is near? Midtown is a ginormous swath of land. Whippy Dude says Grosvenor has a short O. I've been saying it wrong. Well, the thing is, I think everyone will accept how you pronounce it as long as you don't say that third S. But it seems to be grow or graw. I'll admit, I'm not actually sure myself. And I've read articles that say one or the other. But the one thing that there is a consensus on is that you do not pronounce that S. It's grow or Grosvenor. I like Grosvenor. It's probably a weird in between. Yeah, he says, let's say near Yonge and Egg. If you were near Yonge and Egg, then chances are you were in Midtown. It's a SUNY State University of New York College, northwest of Syracuse and right on the lake. I am learning. Thank you, SR Gods. All right, so we're going to try something a little different when this video ends. Because I'm all out of video other than like a rear view video. Spadinosaur. And we are leaving Queens Quay Station and about to enter Union Station. And I'm going to walk over to the Line 1 transfer. By the way, I need to do an updated rush hour transfer video between St. George and Bloor Yonge because the ridiculous crowds are back in full force. it's just amazing how busy like that little stretch of the subway system is between those two stations. Susan says Union or Onion Station. Saying Onion Station. Not saying Onion Station. Charlie, what do you eat your food, man? And here's paws clacking on the tile in the bathroom. Alex goes to St. George almost every time he's out downtown. It's busy there. Yeah, St. George is often a zoo, but it's really cool how both platforms are like stacked right on top of each other and perfectly parallel. It makes for a very, very seamless transfer. Lisa says the key to rush hour navigation is not to make eye contact. Or make eye contact with everyone and have a very good time. Yeah, he thought he was going to see me today at Eglinton Station. No, I took the Eastcoot route today for a hell of a journey, actually. I went down the West Toronto rail path to College Street, and then I rode all the way across College to Sherbourne, then I went up through Rosedale. So that was the video I recorded. But I also rode my ass to the start of the West Toronto rail path, which is a pretty good hike from here. And then I rode back home, so pretty good journey on it. Alan says, excellent transport in Canada. You know what, Alan? Not everyone would agree with that. It's barely adequate in places, but thank you for your comment and for your support as a member. Now we are off the streetcar and we are walking over to the subway station. Nate says nothing worse than almost missing your stop, because it takes almost 5 stops to shuffle yourself close enough to the door to actually get out. Yeah, you know, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because when you're getting towards your stop, if you try to get up and shuffle towards the door, there's going to be people who are like, yeah, I'm getting off too, just wait your turn. But then there's those times where those people aren't doing that and you're kind of like trapped in the middle of the car, and then you really are that salmon swimming upstream. I don't know what the answer is. You just all gotta kind of deal with it. Welcome to a busy station, I guess. Lisa says just be loud and be very belligerent with your excuse me's. Whippy Dude says Eglinton Station will be a busy transfer when Line 5 opens. Well, the joke's on you, Whippy Dude. Line 5 ain't ever opening. That is just a fact of life. It's not opening. It's been under construction since 2011. When I lived in Seoul at Gangnam Station, they built an entire subway line in 3 years. And on a 5-lane road, they closed 1 lane. Not one moment of inconvenience did I experience from them building an entire subway line in 3 years at the busiest subway station in the country, one that is multitudes of times busier than Blue or Yonge. How can they do it? I don't know, but they know what they're doing. Why don't we just bring people who do that sort of thing over here and consult and say, like, you know, we clearly don't know what the hell we're doing. Can you tell Metrolinx to get a clue and show them how to, like, not destroy multiple neighborhoods and take 11 years to put a streetcar underground? Sorry, there's a rant for you, but when you live at Yonge and Eglinton, it is just a fact of life. That it's not a subway, it's not mass rapid transit, it's an underground streetcar. Let's call it what it is not open. Yeah, I'm a little salty over that. If you're gonna tunnel actual subway grade tunnels, you should put a subway. Instead we get the LRT that's compromised. It really truly is an underground streetcar. Like, I'm excited for it. Like, it's gonna be cool. But it should have been a subway. This is Lisa's official guide to busy transit. You're welcome. Susan says, oh my god, Yonge and Eglinton is a mess. I don't know how you deal with it. Because it's the promise that one day it'll be done. That intersection. Right now they've got this like ridiculous rat maze. Sorry, I've had too much drink going on. Where I gotta make a video on. Just maybe that'll be a Stumbles video, just showing how to get from like the Eglinton entrance to the Young Eglinton Center from Eglinton Station. It is exceptionally stupid. Yeah, this is line 1 to Finch. All right, I'm out of beer. I'm gonna go get another one. This is probably a bad idea because it'll be number 4 in the night. So we're getting to properly. I've had too much territory, but I'll be quick. Just give me 1 sec. Do you want to go outside? Outside, you stupid dog. And we're back. Kristen says beer is a food group. Sorry, my green screen is not doing the can much justice, but this is a detour, a Muskoka Brewery since 1996. For those who want to stray from the everyday, a truly easy drinking dry hopped India session ale, not pale ale, session ale, with a rewarding aroma and a taste less traveled. Just to show you guys, there's what the can really looks like in all its color glory. And also, check out this shirt. Yes, I'm rocking a Johnny Strides t-shirt. Look for some new merch designs coming at some point within the next 3 years. They'll be up. And hey, we had, I think, 9 items of merch sold in the last 2 weeks. So thank you to everyone who has purchased merch. I'm going to get some merch up that is not Johnny Strides branded. I'm thinking like a toilet paper roll correctly oriented with the toilet paper going under. I think that would be kind of cool, just like a little logo on the shirt. Or maybe a big logo, but I think that'll be a big one. So we'll do that. I'm thinking maybe a 2-in-1 shampoo bottle. Maybe a 5-in-1 shampoo bottle might be a pretty good one. One that just says Sunday is the first day of the week would be a pretty good one. So I am just full of great ideas. I think these are all money. Like, these are fire merch designs, and I'm gonna proudly wear all of those. So what do you guys think? Should I go down those lines and make those merch happen? Okay, I gotta get this off of my screen here. I don't want to accidentally share something, so I'm gonna move the chat over here. How about a Johnny Strides toilet paper dispenser? Sid says, I think I ran into you in the Young Eglinton Center a few weeks ago. You were too shy to come say hi. Well, that's a bit sad to hear. You're always welcome to come. What's the worst that can happen? I'm just going to be like, that's not me. I don't know who that is. Johnny Strides? Get out of here. That guy sounds like a creep. You think, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But yeah, he says comments. Let me just see here. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, we've got our site up. Palamedes. It wanted to block your comment. Clayton Crawford says, I am drunk. I am not drunk. I am just festively... I don't know. Devin Sullivan says 3-in-1 shampoo, dish detergent, and conditioner. All right, Michelle Briggs, and thank you, Brad Palmer. This is thank you for your cheers. We are into the detour. So, do some Woodle merch. Charlie, do you want to make some Woodle merch? Oh, I realized I've been playing music this whole time. Let's kill the music. So, I found this video. This is a channel called Living in Toronto. I think she's a realtor. Top 6 neighborhoods in Burlington, Ontario. Now, no offense to Burlington. My aunt lives there. Don't move to Toronto, Ontario. So this is a channel called Living in Toronto, Ontario. And I came across this video called Don't Move to Toronto, Ontario. Now, in all fairness, I don't know who this person is. Apparently, her name is Rochelle Real Estate. I'm assuming, based on the fact that this video has 35,000 views and the other videos have 300 views, her clickbaity title worked very well. And in fairness, everyone who's on YouTube is guilty of that. You know, here she did a video, every Toronto neighborhood, you need like top 5 areas in Oakville, but something doesn't sit well with me with this title here. So it's only a 10-minute video and I have never watched it. I have no idea what to expect. So I just kind of want to get into it for a minute or two just to see what it's all about, and maybe I'll agree with her, but I just find it's really weird that someone doing the top 6 neighborhoods in Burlington don't move to Toronto. I'm kind of, I don't know what to make of that. Here's the best places to live in a car-centric, pedestrian-hostile city. Don't move to the urban, walkable, very livable city. As a urbanist in my core, that's just kind of how I see it. I know that's a very narrow-minded view, and I have nothing against people that want to live in the suburbs. Like, if that's where you want to live there. But I have a feeling this is more based on the fact that she sells homes in the suburbs and doesn't sell a whole lot in Toronto. Anyways, I'm going to don the headphones, which is going to allow me to hear the video. Let me make sure I've got my volume up here. Should we do it? Should I kick play? Kick play. Now, technically, according to YouTube, not according to YouTube, watching someone else's video for this purpose is not a copyright violation. But she will get a notice saying I used her video, and I did not talk to her. So I'm not sure if I'm going to play the whole thing, but we're just going to see a little bit about what this is all about. Palamede says Burlington, the land of Karens. Hey, let's be nice.
Families, singles, businesses, they're all moving to Toronto. The economy is great. People come from a diverse mix of backgrounds. You know that Toronto is one of the most culturally diverse cities in the world.
Everything that she said is spot on. I have zero disagreements with this.
And there's a whole lot to do here in terms of attractions and entertainment, but still, with all that said, Toronto isn't for everybody.
Okay, so 100% agree with her so far.
In this video, we're going to get into why you might not want to move to Toronto yourself. I've got 7 top reasons why you should not move to Toronto, and we're going to get after them right now.
Her video is called Don't Move to Toronto, Ontario, yet she opened up saying basically a whole bunch of praise to it, and then the qualifier, some people might not want to move here. So we're definitely in clickbait territory with this title, but all right.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Rochelle. I'm a local real estate agent right here in Toronto, and I get calls every day from people just like you, and you, and you, and you, and you, looking to make a move to Toronto, Ontario, and I love it. So if you're looking to make that move, then give me a shout. All of my contact is down in the description below.
All right. She seems personable. Lisa says her entire marketing deal is clickbait. Yeah. It's got to be really hard to be like a realtor in Toronto, though. It seems like a really, really cutthroat market.
Would love to hear from you, but the challenge we're finding with a lot of people is that Toronto isn't quite what they were expecting. Either they can't afford to buy a home here because it's too expensive, or it's hard for them to find a job here because their qualifications back home just aren't up to par with Toronto employers.
Okay. Yeah, I get the expensive part, but can't find a job here because your qualifications back home. So they're going to find a job in Burlington? What? Am I the only one seeing this? If anything, you would think that this is where the biggest job market is. This is where the most opportunity is. I've worked in companies where we've had people from other countries who were hired, and there would have been no job for them outside of Toronto if it wasn't for our company. You see where I'm going with this, right? I think everyone who's worked in a corporate environment has had people from all around the world jump in and join them. And there's just so much more opportunity in Toronto, especially for someone, I don't know.
And so
I'm
here to make sure that you know everything that there is to know about moving here and set your expectations off right. There's a lot of good to talk about when it comes to Toronto, but today specifically, we're going to focus on the bad and the ugly. And we're going to start off with the first reason why you may not want to move to Toronto, which is the high cost of living. It's expensive to
She's 100% correct.
live in Toronto, and in fact, it's one of the most expensive cities in North America and the most expensive in Canada.
Again, can't disagree with this. Phil Roberts says, I'm more of a John Carpenter Halloween movie fan rather than Friday the 13th.
The average price of a home right now is over $1.1 million. Average rent for a one-bedroom downtown is $2,000 plus utilities. Food and groceries for the average single adult is $400 a month, and that's on a very basic diet like bread, rice, and chicken. Now, a lot of people move downtown for the culture and nightlife, but that's going to cost you. Dinner for two at a mid-range restaurant, for example, is going to cost you about $80.
Where in the suburbs can you get dinner for two? Like, you're saying it's $80 downtown. A comparable meal in the suburbs would be what? The same price at a comparable restaurant? It's not like magically cheaper unless you're going way out to the countryside. So I don't think that argument holds any water at all.
Plus drinks and alcohol, you can expect to pay about $10 to $15 for a drink in the city. Transportation.
They're not cheaper in Mississauga.
And that's a big one. If you are taking a TTC, which is our main public transit system, then your bus pass is going to cost you $160 a month. It's an entertainment, but still.
Oops, did I just rewind it here? Sorry about that. She's talking about the bus pass.
It's an entertainment, but still, with all that said, Toronto isn't for qualifications back home.
Sorry,
Canada,
I screwed up.
the average pay about $10 to $15 for a drink in the city. Transportation, that's a big one. If you are taking a TTC, which is our main public transit system, then your bus pass is going to cost you $160 a month. That all adds up, and here.
So what is your car and insurance going to cost you? What's a bus pass going to cost you in York Region or Mississauga? Oh yeah, the same.
That standard cost of living is not low. According to Numbeo.com, to get by in Toronto, you need at least $42,000 annually. The average salary in Toronto is $54,000. So that leaves you with just about $1,000 a month to pay for extra things like credit card bills, savings, or rainy day funds. Truly the big.
I think that's all a load of bullshit. Everyone sort of budgets for themselves and knows their lifestyle and sort of spends on what they want. So yeah, I don't know.
A setback and what's eating up most of people's budget are housing. Getting a place in Toronto, like I mentioned, is not cheap, and the reason why is because there is a huge disparity between supply and demand. There is a very limited pool of homes for sale, but a whole lot more people who want to buy a home, and so that's driving prices up.
Thank you, Airbnb. Thank you very much for creating this massive lack of housing, but she's 100% right on that point.
to the point where homes are selling for tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars over asking. And so the government has now increased interest rates to try and bring the housing market back to equilibrium. But I honestly don't see that having drastic effects anytime soon, because changes like that take time to see lasting results. Now, you can move outside of the city where home prices will be more affordable. If you are considering that, then make sure to check out some of my Toronto suburb video tours.
Problem, if your job's in Toronto, is it worth saving 10, 20% on your house if you're adding 45 minutes, an hour each way to your commute? Again, there's a balance a lot of people have to consider. To me, it's not worth it.
Like this one, and this one, they highlight some of the most popular
Don't
and
move to
best
Pickering.
neighborhoods that people are moving to just outside the city of Toronto.
We're
But
still
that
in
does
Reynolds.
lead me to point number 3, which is that if you do move to the suburbs, then you're gonna need a car. And let me tell you guys, commuting in Toronto is not fun. This city has major highways.
Ever heard of the GO train? I feel like she's making the reverse point that she wants to make. And no, I did not watch this ahead of time.
Some with even up to 18 lanes, and there are even carpool lanes and toll roads and green lane options. But despite all this, Toronto still has the highest average traffic and commute times in the entire country. Car insurance rates are higher than elsewhere in the province. Parking can cost up to $25 a day, and so all in all, getting around either via your own personal vehicle or via public transit, that's going to suck up a lot of your time and money. But on the bright side, walking definitely is an option for a lot of Torontonians. In any given neighborhood you do move to, you'll likely find yourself close to plenty of amenities. But bear in mind that access to these amenities may not be so easy in the colder months, because let me tell you something else, Toronto winters get very, very cold.
I think our prior point was kind of like, yes, living in a big city can be amazing because everything's at your doorstep. But oh no, if it's cold, it'll take a little more effort to access it. I think she's kind of selling people on living in the city, actually. Lisa says, can we talk about those neighborhoods and those people? Yeah. I see where you're going with that.
In January, for example, it's common to see lows of -10, -20 degrees. Throw in the wind chill and it'll feel like more like -30. Now, it doesn't get as cold as other parts of Canada like Montreal, Calgary, and further up north, but it does affect people's well-being. Entertainment, but still.
Whoops, sorry, I just went back to the start. I meant to hit pause. Commuting is rough. That's her point. It's cold here.
It does affect people's well-being.
It's still stupidly cold if you're not in Toronto. And now you've got to, like, what? Instead of having a cold walk anywhere, you absolutely cannot consider walking somewhere. And you have to drive, which is a very expensive, costly endeavor, which also requires scraping all the snow and ice off your vehicle and heating it. Like, I don't see this argument. Like, the convenient place destroys the less convenient place in the cold. Am I wrong?
There's a lot less social activity that goes on in the winter months because nobody wants to go out. You've got to.
But we all know Mississauga's where the party's at in the winter, right? That's where everyone's living it up. And you'll be surprised in the winter. Walk down King Street. That's not a scene I'm into, but it is alive and kicking in the middle of the coldest winter. There are lots of people out. In Burlington, ghost town.
Shovel
This
your
is not an
driveway just to
argument.
get your car out, warm it up for 10 minutes, and then drive on icy roads. And so, although it doesn't happen to a lot of people, this does sadly result in, for some, seasonal affective disorder, where you legitimately get so sad about the weather that it affects your everyday life. And so people cure that by spending money to get away on vacation, or at least make themselves as comfortable as possible back home, say by ramping up the heat in their home, or buying good quality winter gear like downfall jackets and waterproof boots. But we are running into a central theme here so far, which is that you need money living in Toronto.
All that stuff about the coldness applies to everywhere. I don't understand that entire argument. Vivian Johnson says, cold or not, if one wants to party, they will. 100%, Vivian Johnson, 100%. And you're going to party where there's actually places to do so. SR Gott says you need money to live everywhere. No, yeah. And the Greater Toronto area is shockingly in line with Toronto prices. Like a detached house in Toronto, very similar to a detached house in Mississauga, believe it or not. Like, it's not a world of difference. So most of her arguments against Toronto also apply to other regions. So that I'm not really getting.
And that means you need a job. But the next problem with that now is that it is a tough job market for newcomers. It is a tough job market for newcomers. And I did mention in this video about all the pros of living in Toronto that there are tons of job opportunities in Toronto. So definitely check it out too, by the way, if you haven't already. But there's still a high level of competition for these jobs. It does depend on the industry. If you are in the tech space, for example, software engineering or IT, then it might be easier for you to find work. But generally what I'm finding is that newcomers are at a disadvantage. Their resume, skill set, and qualifications from back home just don't match with what Toronto employers are looking for the exact same job.
That same argument applies to all of the Western world for someone from outside of the Western world, right? Lisa says, dude, stop. But that's like saying, instead of saying don't move to Toronto, you could say don't move to North America, don't move to the UK. That's just a blanket argument that applies to anyone going to a different culture, basically.
Now, that's just to say that immigrants should be fully aware of the requirements for their field of profession here in Toronto, and having a strong understanding of the work culture here is also beneficial to actually help you keep your job. The next reason why you may not want to move to Toronto is if you're looking for peace and quiet. You won't get any of that living downtown because construction is happening left and right, up and down all the time as more and more people live here and call Toronto home. We need to build more housing to actually help people find a home. And so when you look at the city's skyline, it's peppered with cranes. And walking along the street, there are pylons and drilling, closed roads, and all that noise. And so, although necessary to improve the city's infrastructure and to provide more housing, that comes at the cost of the sound of chainsaws as your...
Chainsaws? I think she meant jackhammers. I don't think chainsaws is really the sound that you're hearing. But fair point. I live in Yonge and Eglinton. If I went out on my balcony, yeah, it's pretty loud, but cities are inherently loud. Cars are the biggest source of the loudness. But yeah, I don't think there's a chorus of chainsaws. I don't mean to hate on her. I think she's actually a very charismatic and good presenter. I just don't think these arguments really hold a lot of water, personally. But that's just me. That might be the alcohol talking. I don't know. And I just rewound it again. Let's just move back up here.
These infrastructure and to provide more housing, that comes at the cost of the sound of chainsaws as your everyday background music. And last but not least is what I like to call Instagram versus reality. The Canada you see on Instagram is not what you get in Toronto.
And the person you met on Tinder is not the person you get in real life. That's kind of what Instagram is, isn't it?
And what I mean by that is that oftentimes when you're talking to people from abroad, they have this sense that Canada is this majestic, snow-capped, mountainous, open, fresh air type of country. And yes, while that's true for many parts of Canada, like Banff or Vancouver, it's actually quite the opposite in Toronto. There are no mountains, the land is pretty flat, vehicular traffic and large manufacturing companies here make for smoggy air, and it's a densely populated city with limited green space, far from being open and airy. And so at the end of the day, if you want to know what it's like living in Toronto, then it really all depends on your lifestyle and values. It's definitely not for everybody, but if you are looking for a hustling and bustling cosmopolitan city and set your expectations off right, then Toronto truly can be one of the best cities in the world.
So she just said it's one of the best cities in the world you can live in. I think everybody looking to move to Toronto is very much aware that it's a big city. So thanks for just discrediting your entire video.
For you. And so after outweighing the pros and the cons, you decide that you do want to move here after all, then give me a shout. I would love to help you out. I've been helping people all across Toronto and abroad for the last 7 years purchase and sell real estate here, and I would love to do the same for you. You can give me a shout right here. All of my contact is down below. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call with me, and I'd...
Okay, we don't need her advertisement. Chris Mill says, Jays have tied it up at 2. There we go. There's some positive news, but I thought it might be fun to watch this video with some fresh eyes and maybe do it with you guys. Lisa says, what were her pros? I think the pros were kind of sprinkled in. There was a lot of compliments about Toronto in there. Trentech says her audience has never been to North America, but she's a real estate agent, so she's gearing her audience towards people that are looking to buy in this market, right? Most newcomers aren't going to be buying a home right when they land. So I'm not sure that's really who her audience is. Also, all of these arguments apply to the entire Western world for a newcomer, not just Toronto. Anyways, yeah, I thought it might be fun to just kind of watch that. Hopefully she doesn't copyright strike me. I will fight it if she does, because technically you're allowed to do what we just did. I didn't ask for her permission, but on the plus side, hey, very charismatic, great presenter. I can see why she's a real estate agent. So I'll give her an up because she gave us some content. Great points for newcomers. As born in... Here, let me increase this here. As born and raised Torontonian, you definitely hit key tips. I'm a social worker and meet newcomers all the time who have had their dreams crushed because they didn't do the proper research before moving, especially for work credentials. Sadly, we've always known this for quite a while, They only heard good things from fortunate friends who moved here. Oh, she replied, thanks for watching. You know, comments, reading the... Hey, Rob comments on my channel. My ex and I lived right downtown for 3 years on a double income. We did it. It was the entertainment, dinners, brunch, movies that broke the bank for us. That stuff can all add up if you do it too regularly. He was big on socializing. I remember one weekend it cost us over $300. $300 is pretty modest weekend for people partying it up. He didn't enjoy Toronto, but would go back if he met someone with a good income. Hey, Norma always responds on my videos. Supply and demand has very little to do with unaffordable housing in Toronto. It's all about the entry of the financials. Okay, we're getting into... One of the reasons you can't always trust the comments is, as a YouTuber, you have the ability to make certain comments disappear. Now, I almost never delete comments unless they're full of like hate, something that clearly is inappropriate and would offend someone for reasons I find despicable. When that happens, I delete the comment. Anything else, if someone's just disagreeing with me or calling me an idiot or anything else, I just leave the comments because, hey, free speech, right? Here's a platform to do that. But when you read, like, I don't know if she takes out the comments that disagree with her or not. I hope not. You should move to New York. It's more expensive and stinkier, but it's on average 5 degrees warmer. And there is a lot more crime. Don't even get me started on the traffic and congestion. Also, -20 does not happen often in Toronto. Normal January temps are highs of -1 and lows of -8s. Can I buy this man a beer? Can I buy him a beer? Like, that is such an awesome comment. I'm a realtor in Liberty Village and love this video. You should have seen Toronto in the 70s and 80s. It was very different. Cleaner, safer. Not necessarily around Yonge and Dundas. Kind of had a bit of a seedy vibe to it. I remember in the late 70s when there was one shooting, it was on the news for weeks. That was true. No one hardly ever got shot. Now with the new and improved TO, when someone gets shot, you don't blink an eye. We compare violent crime in Toronto to other major North American cities, and you will see we are still very much sitting pretty. So I don't think that argument holds a lot of water. I love Toronto. Toronto is the best city in the world. Your video views say it all. Not a lot of people are impressed. Anyways, thank you so much to this YouTube
Family,
channel.
singles, businesses, they're all
Rochelle for giving me some content. I wanted to try something a little different tonight. I wanted to try doing a bit more of a reaction video. And she has a TikTok as well. So if you're in the real estate market, that might be something a person to check out. I don't know. I don't know anything at all about that, except my landlord sucks. And if you're watching and you are my landlord, go F yourself. But anyways, let me just do something here. I want to pull something up on my screen, and I don't want to accidentally overshare. No, I don't. Okay. You should play GeoGuessr. GeoGuessr on the Johnny Strides channel. What we will do is we're going to finish the night off by just going through some comments. If you're not into this, I totally get it. We're not, just because it's not what we normally do on the Friday night streams. But again, I'm a little low on original content tonight. Henrique Tavares says, less than a year here in Toronto, and it's working very well for us. Thank you for your comment, and I'm glad it's working out for you. Alex says, yes, let's go. So we're going to go through some comments on my channel. Will you do a walk video of a suite and restaurant in the King Edward Hotel? If I can get access to it, I would love to. Funny story, I stayed at the King Edward Hotel. We had a company. I lived in Midtown, and my company was flying a lot of people in from the Houston office. Oop, we still have this comment on the screen. And they gave me a room at the hotel just so we could sort of socialize and be there. And I was like, I'll take the room, but I'm not going to stay there. And then when we were lining up, I was with a group of people from Houston that were on the team that I was in this workshop with. And they're like, good news for you. You've been upgraded to a suite. Nobody else in my team was upgraded to a suite. And I was like, I'm not actually staying here tonight. Can you give one of these other people the suite and I'll take the regular room? And they kind of huffed and puffed and gave this like, oh, that's too complicated on the system. So I got this amazing suite, like this huge, huge room. And I literally spent 5 minutes in it. Like, it was such a waste. But it was a fantastic hotel. So long story short, I would love to do a video on the King Eddie. It's one of those kind of like romantic hotels, kind of like the Royal York. Like, it's got that nice old quality to it. Clayton Crawford. Clayton, the best comments in town. Go check out his comments. It's so pretty. The cherry blossoms in response to yesterday's video. Thanks for the video, Johnny. The hotel looks better than the overpriced Shangri-La and has a kitchen. Why are downtown hotels so overpriced in Toronto? The prices are in line with most major cities, IMO. It's not that they're overpriced. It's just that's big city hotels. They're always kind of like that. Kathleen Wallace, an interesting video. Always stay at the Chelsea Hotel if I go to Toronto, but next time I will stay here. Again, there's that Chelsea Hotel reference that keeps popping up. Natalie, thank you, Johnny. Very fancy. I missed the Thompson Hotel. That was a cool place. Sean Desmond says the champ is here. Mark says we need audio. You're getting audio. What are you talking about? Susan says muted. Hello, is this muted? I don't think I'm muted. I just literally played it on my thing and it was muted for a second. Oh, sorry I booped that. K-Flip, I highly recommend this hotel. This is where I stay when I visit Toronto. Nice tall ceilings, amazing views, kitchen, fridge, nice bar downstairs, central location. Can't beat it for the price too. Thank you, K-Flip. Sorry guys, that muting was totally random. Thank you, Marie Palmer. Sorry, I have no idea. Maybe that's a sign we should end the stream. Is that a sign? We'll end it soon. Amazing video. Thank you. Loved the video, Johnny. The bank vault was pretty cool. The hotel videos are a nice change of scenery. Thank you, Jeanette Morales. The Toronto Yeller. Wow, great security. No card access. That is true. You could just walk into that hotel and press any button and you are on your way up. Hate to own it as a regular space. I would rather have my space too. It's kind of awkward. Old elevator because it's slow, laughing my ass off. Hey, John, I would love to meet up with you sometime. I do food deliveries in downtown. We might cross paths. Love your content. Gives me the feeling of being there when I'm away. Apparently, the microphone is back. Okay, it's back. Katie M. Hey, Johnny, do a walkthrough of the Royal York. I hope I can someday. See what I mean? Sorry, I have no idea why the audio keeps muting. See what I mean by how the Chelsea Hotel keeps coming up? Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a magic shortcut that keeps muting. Ah, okay. I'll try not to. But sorry, guys. I've had a lot to drink tonight. I'm going to go over to my couch and watch Kids in the Hall on Amazon because I don't know what's going on with the audio, but there's something ghostly happening. Maybe because it's Friday the 13th and I made fun of paranormal stuff. Johnny Strides and Cash Meow stream in Tokyo. Maybe Wing Zero, maybe. But we're going to close this off. I'm going to come back here another day and continue. But I just want to thank everyone for... I've got my eye on that audio meteor. Yeah, there's a meteor crashing on that meter just to make sure it doesn't like ghost mute itself. But we're done for the night. I'm going to try, hopefully tomorrow night, do a live stream after the Maple Leaf game. I think we'll go downtown and we'll have fun. But I just want to say thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our Patreon members. I'm watching that. Okay, we're not muted. Thank you to our mods for their good work. Thank you to just everyone for showing up. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. That'll be very much appreciated. George Kemp says you're hitting a keyboard shortcut. You can hear the music, but yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Too many drinks tonight. Way too many drinks. Lisa says, lol. Thank you for the super chat. Channel member extraordinaire Lisa. Thank you. Are you a channel member? I don't see them. I don't know. Thank you, Lisa, for your support and for the $5. I'm gonna go put myself out to pasture. But have a good night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We've got a very, very exciting walk heading north from Exhibition up to Bloor Street. On what street? That street would be Dufferin. Thank you, Brad Palmer. Thank you, everyone. Hope you had a good night. Hope you enjoyed the reaction video. Maybe we'll do some more things like that in the future. And I'm just going to go ahead and shut down my streaming software so I don't mute myself again.